back to my channel. This is Detroit AllyCat, and you're with me on my channel, which is what I just said. And I wanted to do something a lot different than I normally do, which is kind of weird because I never really do like the same thing over and over again. I mean, I guess I do true crime and spooky a lot, but I do other things as well. I thought we would have a conversation about who I am, because I've never done that, and I've never really introduced myself to you or told you who I was, and I felt like if you were going to watch my channel, you needed to get to know me a little bit. So we're going to attempt to do that today, because it's something I thought about like all weekend. So without further ado, let's get spooky. So let's talk about me. My name is Ally, and I really love horror movies. I am very much into Halloween. I love anything spooky. I am a true crime fanatic. I mean, to the point where, like, I have a pre-law degree. I have a criminal justice degree. I have a lot of criminal justice background, and I also have police work in my background. I never actually became a police officer because I ended up joining the military instead, so I have that in my background as well. And let's talk about that a little bit, because that was like a really significant part of my life. I joined the Army when I was 30 years old, and it was like one of the best and worst things that I had ever done in my entire life. Like, when I joined the Army, I really thought I had made a horrible mistake. But after a while, I began to learn that it was probably one of the best things that I had ever done, and it really made me see myself for who I really was. Because at that time, I thought I was like a complete bad, and I just edited myself. Did you like that? But I wasn't that person at all. Like, I thought I could just take on the world and do all these things, and there wasn't anybody around me at that time that was like as like go-getter-ish as I am, and that really is my downfall and my best quality at the same time. But I assumed, because I was this way, that it would just work out great for me in the military. But the problem with the military is that you need to be really strong. And despite my go-getter attitude, I am very strong, but in certain aspects I'm not. Like, I hate running. Like, oh my gosh, I hate running. So I didn't do very good with running. And I hate heights, and they always want you to jump off of things, and that didn't work either. And then the push-ups, like, why do they do so many push-ups? But I got used to it, and I made it, and I began to love it. And that go-getter attitude that had helped me survive all my life actually worked out really well in the Army. So I actually have nothing but love for the military. The Marines, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force. I love all of it, and I have nothing but respect for people that join the military. But that's just part of my life. That was 4 years. Before that, I used to throw parties for a living, and I'd love to get into what kind of parties I used to throw, and that's just going to have to be like a little bit of a mystery for you guys. But I used to throw parties at very big nightclubs, or sometimes in private houses, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun, and it was probably one of the most wild times in my life. But you eventually start to not want to be part of that world anymore, and that's why I wanted to change my life, and that's why I enlisted in the Army, and I did that, and it really changed me. But while I was in the Army, I just wanted to be a part of that world. I've always been somebody who's a performer, somebody who likes to be in the spotlight, somebody who likes to be watched. And I just needed to be a part of that again. So I came home and I opened up a circus company, and I was terrified of fire, but I was very insistent on opening a company that had fire performers. But I myself did not have any fire performing background, so I hired a person to teach my these girls that I found how to do fire, and that person decided to not show up one day. So rather than give up, I went ahead and I taught everybody how to do fire, never doing fire before in my life. Now, the funny thing is that I never told anybody this, but I was terrified of fire. As a kid, I used to play with fire a lot, and it was like kind of a bad thing. And I burnt down a lot of stuff, so I had this internal terror of fire. And I was always drawn to it, not in a destructive way. Like, I never wanted to destroy things. I liked fire. So, as I taught all these people to do fire, I learned that I was really good at it. And now I'm a fire breather, and that's what I do for a living outside of YouTube, which I'm not making a living on YouTube at all yet. Hopefully, one day. But, so my company evolved from just fire performing to a circus. So a lot of you may be laughing, but yes, I run a circus. And it's a huge circus. Like, if I wanted to set up Circus Soleil in my front yard, I absolutely could. I have an aerialist rig and stilts and cotton candy machines and mermaids, and one day I will take you to work and I will show you. One day when everything settles down. And I just thought it was really important that you guys know that information about me and know a little bit about what has happened in this last year, because I feel like the last couple weeks I've taken a break here and there, and that's not something I wanted to do. I wanted to be very every week I would do 2 videos and you guys could rely on me and I could build an audience, but I found myself in the last month having a hard time sitting down and doing videos, and that made me sad because I've worked so very hard to get where I am right now, which isn't even that much, but I literally have been doing YouTube videos for I think almost a year, which is a lot, really, but I had some hard times this month, and I really wanted to talk to you about it. So when I came home from the Army, I was diagnosed with something called Behçet's disease. And Behçet's disease is basically an autoimmune disorder, and it's very much like lupus, but it's different and has different things. So I have to take certain medications, and I have to do certain things with my body, and sometimes I get very, very sick. And it's really weird because this year, right before the virus came, I got very, very sick. And it was so bad that I was calling people to the hospital because I wanted to talk to them in case something happened. And it was a very scary time in my life, but I got better. And that was good because kind of taught me that I need to keep my head straight in order to survive things, which is really important. And it seemed like my life had been going all over the place because at that time I was planning all these parties for my company, and then I had all these new clients, and I was at the top of my game with my company. And then, of course, the virus hit, and you can't hire circus performers when a pandemic happens. But at that time, I had also been setting up this very big party that I throw once a year. And I did not know what was going to happen. I had no idea. I had no idea that it was going to get so crazy. It was going to get so horrible. And so I posted on the event page that, we're not closing it down yet. We're just waiting to see what happens. And one of my performers that I've known for 6 years, she sent me a message and she was very upset. She said that, she performs with snakes and stuff, and she said that she couldn't do that because she was afraid for her snakes and she had asthma and all this stuff. And I was like, I totally understand, but the thing about it is that I was still like kind of in this like getting out of a hospital mode. And if you've ever been to a hospital where you've been on like IV painkillers, you're kind of like out of it a little bit for, I would say, a couple weeks until like your body readjusts to not being like that. So I was out of it, and she was scared and she left the company, and I was very upset because I felt like she was walking away from me. So it took me like a good couple months, and I got really upset, and I was like, you know what? I'm done. And so I decided to not talk to her anymore. And this year was just filled with like absolute craziness. Like every time I turned around, there was something new happening, and it wasn't just happening to me, it was happening to the rest of the world. Like the whole world was suffering, and there was so much screaming, and I don't know how we survived, and we did, and we're here. And you know, the one thing that I really appreciate about this year is that I got to learn that I love doing true crime on YouTube. I absolutely love it because I feel like I could bring attention to certain crimes that happened, or people that are missing, or situations that are occurring that I feel like you guys should know about. And I have this kind of knack for explaining things or talking about things, and it's something that I know that I have a strength with. And it's been hard because I've been through a lot this year, just like you. And so sometimes when I'm sitting down talking about a case, it's like I want to like turn around and cry because there's so much going on. But I made it through, and if you're watching this video right now, thank you for watching my videos, and thank you for being here with me, because you kind of kept me sane and you kept me going. And I found out that even though you feel like your world's falling apart, it's not. You can always find something else, and you can always focus, and you can adapt. And that's been amazing. But there is something else I really wanted to talk about because, you know, for the last 2 weeks I've been having a really hard time. And it has to do with the girl that I walked away from in the beginning of the year. So she had asthma really bad, and she was like really afraid of the virus. I think she thought that it was just going to get her. And instead of me listening and trying to figure out why she was walking away, I just got hurt. And I think that like I regret that, because 2 weeks ago she decided that she didn't want to be a part of this madness anymore, and she left this planet. And she's somewhere that I'm not sure where she is, but she's not here anymore. And it's been really hard, like emotionally. And I don't know if I should even be telling this story, because it's not my story, because she left a fiance and animals and all this big hole. It's just this big giant hole. And, you know, I had to deal with that. And it was like the end of 2020. And I didn't know how I was going to do videos. I didn't even know if I could ever post again, because it just like everything I said, it seemed wrong, and everything that I thought didn't seem like it mattered anymore. And I really thought I would come on here and talk about it and introduce myself and explain to you everything that was going on and why things have been so weird on my channel. Like, I've gone a week without making a video, and what the reason for that is, you know? And maybe I don't have to say anything to you guys about my life, and maybe it is too much information, but I need to talk to somebody about it, because it needs to be known, you know? There's a lot of heavy, horrible, hard things going on this year. At the same time that this happened, I had been diagnosed with pneumonia. So I was getting through pneumonia, and I was in the hospital when I was told this, and and at that same time, they told me that I had corona. I don't have corona, but what a horrible time to be told you have corona. And I had to quarantine for my family. So I couldn't even go near my family. And I was like in my bedroom dealing with this. And it was just really crazy. I am slowly coming out of it. And like I'm slowly becoming okay with what happened. I'm not really okay with it, but I'm coming to terms with it. But it's important that I talk about this because I feel like a lot of you guys have been going through a lot of this as well. And my story is not just one story. It's the story that we're all telling right now. Everybody's lost somebody. Everybody's going through some pain. Everybody's stressed out. Everybody's, it's still going on. I live in Michigan, and it's like we're still in the middle of a lockdown. So we can't perform. My performers can't perform. And it's just been a difficult year. But I'm so thankful that I'm still here and happy, and I have a family. And I did lose someone. And it's unfortunate because that person was beautiful and she had her entire world ahead of her, and it's just something that happened. And I wanted to talk about it before I made some more videos, and I wanted to tell you about my life and why things have been crazy. And I'm really excited to get back to making videos, and I'm really excited about like all the things that I have coming up, and I'm going to continue doing YouTube. But, partly why I wanted to make this video is because I just wanted to say, like, if you're going through some stuff and it's like piling up on you and you feel like you're alone, or you feel like things are so horrible that you can't handle it, you're not alone. You're not. And you need to like reach out and tell somebody and like talk to your friends. So yeah, that's my getting to know me video. It's kind of like sombering, but I mean, what can you do when you're in the middle of a pandemic and a quarantine and all these things, and but I just wanted to be upfront with you that I am definitely going through some stuff, and I know in my heart that I'm not alone at all. And I feel like a lot of you guys watching this video are probably going through some stuff as well. So just, don't give up. It's going to get better. It really is. I can feel it. I know 221 might be a little bit rough to the start because something this heavy and hard is just not going to be instantly fixed, but it's going to take some time, but it will get better. It will. I have faith in that, and I feel like some of you guys just need to hear that. I do want to say that my friend, she had a YouTube channel as well, and it's called Into the Dragon's Den, and I would really like it if you went over there and subscribed to her channel, because it was her dream to become like this great big YouTuber and sell makeup, and she had all like these dreams and aspirations, and I just think that it'd be really cool if she had a lot of subscribers. And plus, she was an amazing person, so I think maybe you should watch her. It's called Into the Dragon's Den, and Yeah, I hope this video wasn't too weird. I just, wanted to share a little bit of my life and what's going on and everything that's happening. It seems like every time I videotape my family, like, they could be quiet all day, but the second I want to make a video, it's like, which is really cute. It's funny. So if you hear stuff in the background, that's my family just like trying to live their life without me being crazy. Her channel is Into the Dragon's Den. She did a lot of like Viking stuff, makeup stuff. She really loved her animals, so she has a lot of those videos. And I think that truly, if you're watching my videos, that you would appreciate hers. And I believe that her life should be celebrated and remembered. And I think that it would be I just really want to dedicate this moment to her. And I hope that if any of you guys ever feel like you can't handle everything, that you reach out to somebody and you tell them that, because you never know how much you're loved. I told myself I wasn't gonna cry. But she's left a huge hole. And we're all gonna make it, and we're all gonna survive, but I just wish I would have known, because I would have liked to like tell her no. And I guess this video is not as uplifting as I thought it was gonna be, but it's real, and it's important that you guys see that even if you don't think somebody cares about you, that there are people that care about you very much, even if you don't feel like they do. And if that happens, that you're gonna change people's lives. And Aldani, she had her name that she went by. She changed my life, because I now realize that like when somebody acts a certain way towards you and you get upset, you think that like blah blah blah, but that's not always true. That's not true. They might be thinking completely different. They might be going through something you have absolutely no idea that they're going through. And it's just really important that you pay attention to that. But I didn't want to make this video all about this, but it is definitely a huge part of what I'm going through right now, and it's been very difficult for me, because I'm in mourning, and for like a while, like everything felt fake, like everything, like that didn't really happen, that couldn't have happened, but it happened, and I'm still here, and that seems weird to me, but I will always remember her and honor her memory, and I hope that you could check her channel out and, leave a view or leave a comment, tell her how cool she is, because wherever she is, she would have loved that. She really would have. She was really amazing, and I'm gonna keep going with YouTube, and I'm so excited, because I hope you stick this journey out with me, And I hope this gives you a little bit of insight as to who I am, and the kind of person I am, except I think I was kind of like all over the place. But that's just the way my life has been. Like, the last year is all over the place. And that's okay, because that's life, you know? It's not always perfect, and it's not always what you expect, but I'm still trudging on. And if you're watching this video, you're still trudging on with me. So I hope this enlightened you about me or life or this year, and that you're not alone. I hope that it made you feel some kind of way. Mostly that you're not alone and having a crazy year. And if Aldony is listening from anywhere, I really miss you. And I wish you well. And yeah, so that's my getting to know me and my year. I'm going to be making some more videos after this because I have some unboxing I want to do. And I'm also going to be doing a true crime video this week and be getting back on schedule. So you better watch. And, you know, thank you for watching today. Anyway, stay safe and stay spooky.